Mr. Deputy Speaker, as a young Muslim growing up during the War on Terror, I was sharply aware of my community being scapegoated and subjected to surveillance. So before arriving at university, I knew that many British Muslims were treated as second-class citizens. As a student, I quickly learnt that this treatment extended to the university campus, and that basic democratic rights and freedoms were not afforded to everyone equally. For students and staff who are Muslim, to staff who are on precarious contracts, and even for student activists, freedom of speech and academic freedom are routinely restricted and denied. These freedoms aren't threatened by oversensitive students or by academics researching the British Empire. They're threatened by this government's policies. Policies like the Prevent Duty, which human rights group Liberty have said is the single biggest threat to freedom of speech on campus. Under Prevent, students have been policed, treated as suspicious and extreme, simply for taking part in mainstream debates on topics like British foreign policy, Palestine, and Kurdistan. Research has shown that 1/3 of Muslim students feel negatively affected by Prevent, and I know many students, including some of my own constituents, who are afraid to take part in political debates or even organise events on campus. If the Secretary of State for Education is really concerned, and I quote, of the chilling effect of unacceptable silencing and censoring, then he should start by addressing the main sources of that chilling effect in the Home Office and his own department. This government could not care less about the way our marketised higher education system restricts academic freedom. Tens of thousands of academic staff are on precarious contracts, with some living on poverty wages. At the whim of managers, they often feel unable to speak openly or to freely shape their research and their teaching for fear of risking their careers. Rather than pushing universities to offer permanent, well-paid contracts, the Conservatives are content to sit on the sidelines while launching their own attacks on academic freedom. Whether it's members opposite demanding that the Department of Education sack academics at Warwick University in my constituency, or ministers chasing critics of Britain's imperial past off the boards of museums and cultural institutions, or Lord Wharton, chair of the Office of Students and previously head of the Prime Minister's Conservative leadership campaign, telling Oxford academics to leave their personal politics at home, this government and its allies are happy to silence those who dissent from their agenda, while giving free rein to fascists and Holocaust deniers to spout their hate. That's what this bill represents. This, Mr. Deputy Speaker, is part of this Conservative government's growing authoritarian agenda. From the police crackdown bill and its criminalisation of protests, to its voter ID plans and its attempt at voter suppression, to its borders bill and its scapegoating of migrants, to this bill and its attack on academic freedom that it so claims to protect. Mr. Deputy Speaker, instead of a government defending only the freedom of the super rich to dominate and exploit, it's time for a government that advances the freedom of all. Thank you.